Hey, what up? We're back for our 2022 Tarot and Oracle readings. Today we're doing April. This is my outfit from the last video because I'm doing these in the same day. So no, I don't wear the same thing every day. I'm batching. Batch creating. I batch cooked some turkey and lentils last night and primo. So good. So good. I was so proud of myself. And I went out I needed to start these videos. I did my pre-light. It took a while. And then I was like, I've got to keep forging ahead, but I've got to stop and go get groceries because of the snowstorms today. And in Tennessee, we're not prepared for that, for like salt or anything. And I live in the bottom of like all these hills, so I can't go anywhere if it's icy. And so I was so proud that I went out, not only got the ingredients, but actually made the soup last night and filmed several videos and edited one and got it up and posted. So in your face 2022, I'm crushing you, and it's so fun. But it's like a nice crush. It's a candied crush. Okay, so exciting. So April is, spring is in the air, and that is consistent with our reading. I'm so excited about it. So it's a continuation of that, like continuing to work hard from March, but starting to like see like evidence of our wish coming true. And it's like spring is springing, and so the buds are coming up and like things are about to start blooming. We're so close. The womb, the cosmic womb, is that place where we are born and we are nurtured and we are grown from a seed, from just these two, the bare bones of the masculine and feminine come together, and we begin to gestate and grow. And we grow our creativity, we grow our ideas, we grow the things that we are passionate about in our life from that energy center, that one that we were talking about when we were talking about the overall themes of the year being sacral chakra, womb, water. Like this is that amniotic fluid. And so it's one of the things that we've been doing this year, or should be doing, is working with water. So do a lot of salt baths right now and add some like oils and make it your own, you know, figure out what inspires you as far as like smells and flowers and spices, and how does that make you feel about what you want to accomplish or achieve, or how you want to feel in the moment, and you know, add that to your bath as part of the part of the prayer, part of the ritual, just part of another layer that makes it special for you and nurtures you, and it keeps you feeling nurtured. So I think that the womb is all about nourishing that creativity, spending time with those muses. I think it's going to be about being in that feminine, dark, feminine, quiet energy. It's about studying that supernal mother, that highest feminine, divine feminine, darkness, stillness, silence. So I think at that point we will have established our routine, and we won't feel so driven in that divine masculine energy to like get out there like and like soldier on and go forward. We're going to be able to like relax into our routine a little bit and just enjoy the ride and stop and smell the roses and just chill and sit still and let life kind of come to us, and just lay low and recoup and enjoy the luxury and enjoy the blooming flowers. Stop and smell the roses that are blooming. It'll be tulips and irises and peonies are in May. So I believe it. So I feel like February, March is buttercups, and then next is tulips, which is like March, April, and then April is definitely tulips and irises. Irises are big, but I believe cherry blossoms are April. I feel like April is cherry blossom. It's cherry blossom energy for sure. So I love, love, love the cherry blossoms, and they're so brief. It's like you've got to get out that every day that week that they're in bloom before like the wind blows, or like there's rain, or the green starts to push through. So womb energy. And this also talks about, when we talk about that divine feminine, it's so far up and so removed from solid form that it becomes so abstract, and it's like that dark void, that place, like the birth before we were birthed, before we were birthed. Like, what do we come from? where was the womb, like what is the womb that reality was birthed from? Remember we were talking about that empty room during the March reading. The womb is kind of a play on that, but it's the place, it's like the other side of that coin, where the warm, safe, secure place where we are brought to life. But it is also a dark and still place, and there's like, you can't see out of it. You're kind of like in that dark tunnel for a while, but it's actually bringing you to life and not breaking you down. It's building you up. Next we have Bear. Bear, you would think he's gonna be either something about like getting grounded or like really solid or like preparing for, you know, winter or hibernation. But in this deck, Bear is about the spiritual awakening, coming awake after your long slumber, this long spiritual slumber of winter. It's about that awakening to come out and join life and come into the spring. And, you know, at first it's like a groggy slog. You're like, whoa, I've been asleep for a long time. So it may feel like a little bit of like a strenuous effort at first, but before you know it, it'll feel like second nature, and you'll be bounding and leaping, and it'll be summer. So Bear energy is that awakening. And also we've got people in a spiritual awakening this year. There's a huge awakening there's a next level awakening within a collective of people that are already doing the work, and then there's going to be another wave over the general collective. Or I think Mary Jo from Soul Revolution, go check out her channel, but she calls it, I think that was the hive, is like everybody that is not quite awake yet. So if you're in that initial awakening stage, it is just really, it's a really intense time. So don't worry, don't get scared. You will get through it. And there might be some really weird physical symptoms involved, like just odd, strange things. Maybe I'll do a whole video on all of the weird ascension symptoms that I've had, where I'm just like, does this happen to other people? I don't know, this is weird, but okay. And so if you have anything like that, where you're just like, am I going crazy? Like, no, you're probably fine. You're probably just awakening. So spring energy awakening. Our tarot card from Wild and Nun Tarot is the Six of Cups. And I feel like this is like, with that spring energy, it's going to be the rebirth of a dream, of a long-held dream, of a long-held wish that we've held for so long. And that whole thing that we've been working towards, I think this is going to be in like within the realm of our dreams, within our purpose, and within our like, I feel like a lot of us would like to create a purpose that also like aligns with the work that we do on a day-to-day basis, because we want to focus all of our attention on what matters most to us and not separate it and split it off. Not everybody is like that. That's totally cool. Like, everybody shouldn't be the same doing the same thing. It's just that if they are, like, I feel like this has to do with the fact that like something that you've been working on for a long time, that you're almost like, it's just never gonna happen. Like, it's going to come back, and you're gonna have this rebirth of enthusiasm and like feeling like that sense of romance and like excitement for it is gonna come back again. The Knight of Cups is gonna come with that Six of Cups feeling for you. And hopeful signs with your dream, and that whole like Nine of Cups energy from March. We're gonna start seeing the evidence of it, not only because of the awakening, not only because of the fact that it's like continue to nourish and self-care because you are creating like a life that's coming into being, but because we get Lilith this month, and she is the card that teaches us about independence. Lilith would not submit. She was determined to be who she really was, and to be strong within herself. And there's a lot of different stories about Lilith, but the one that's related to this card is about independence. So I feel like all the things that we've been working on throughout the year leading up to this point are really starting to, like, the foundations we're starting to see the progress. It's starting to give us independence, emotional independence, recovery from codependence, more financial independence, more freedom. Our schedule, our routine that we're making self-discipline around is going to give us more freedom, and we're going to feel independent about being able to be really autonomous and like intentional about like how we use our time, how we arrange our time, and like, you know, how we really like live the day to day and the ins and outs. And so independence is great. She's card 29, and I noticed that there's a 2, which was all obviously 2022. It's about, you know, duplicity, duality, partnerships, pairs, pairings. And the 9, that big breakthrough moment, 9 last month, like that big culmination where it's like, ooh, the big break, you get the big break before like the happily ever after scene. And so the 2 and the 9 together make 11, which is like the 1 and the 1 paired together as one. So it's like the uniting of pairs coming together, and those two, 1 and 1 equals 2. So I'm really liking that energy because it's continuing these like major themes for the year, and it's one of those years where it's like, yes, keep going, like continue on this way, like no news is good news, like you're on the right track, like, and we're like, are you sure, like are we certain, like is there anything else you're leaving out, like anything new? You know how you go through those periods where like you'll pull the same card for like 17 years, like out of 37,000 decks, and it's like, is there anything else happening to me? We get 6 of Cups again, and this one is in particular, it's like, look at that little house behind. I feel like that this 6 of Cups is also a message of not only getting in touch with that inner child and like what your early dreams were, but I think it's literally like someone is also coming back from your past to rekindle a friendship. Maybe this person is coming back and there's some romantic interest there. I think that there's some kind of person from the past coming back, and it's during this awakening time, and I think that there's a new sense of independence that you've been developing anyway. So it's like you're a new person, they're a new person, they're coming back. This is not exactly how you remember, but it's like, hey, get to know somebody again, but yeah, somebody might resurface from the past. Be aware of that, be on the lookout. And then again, we have 7 of Pentacles, and I shuffled really good, and I mixed it up and shuffled, and this one like flipped over on its own. So 7 of Pentacles, it's like, hey, don't quit picking, like don't yank the weeds or the sprouts out of the soil, like it's all happening. It's just, it takes time, and enjoy the ride. Like this year, it keeps telling us to be sustainable. Sustain your energy, don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get too, impatient, or, keep that energy where you're like charging forward, but also like don't let it make you feel like you're not there fast enough. Don't let it feel like you're behind, or that you need to hurry up and like achieve something. It's just the enjoyment. It's the exhilaration of a full gallop. Just on a country ride. You're not going anywhere. You're not like Paul Revere. There's nowhere you need to get there to like save the day. You're like, no one is at stake. And I love that I'm like Paul Revere in my like 1700s like jacket. Like I have stories about this jacket. But anyway, so you are just enjoying the exhilaration of a ride through the countryside at a full gallop. Wind in your hair. Sometimes people come up to me and they are like, what kind of uniform is that? What is that jacket? Like, what are you saying? And I'm like, this is the Ralph Lauren jacket. I hope you like it. I love the fashion of it. I'm so into like that whole 1700s-y, Adam and the Ants, French royal court, like 16 to 1700s military look. And I feel like they're always like, is that a Civil War jacket? And what really offends me about that is that if it was, the South was wearing those raggedy ass gray like woolen uniforms. Like this would have totally been a Union uniform. So why don't you just step and correct yourself and recognize, like before you get all like uppity about someone's historical garb, make sure you have your facts straight. As if. All right, awesome. So that was April. My birthday is in April. It's April 19th. I'm going to be timeless. Yeah, I'm an 80s baby, so best of all worlds. I saw the turn of the century. I'm from the 1900s. We had telephones. I had a Garfield phone, and then I had one of those clear see-through phones, and my phone jack was in my like walk-in closet. So my whole life I was just like laying on the closet floor, like on a cord, like tethered to the wall, just like laying down like in my closet talking on the phone. Because I'm from the 1900s. Bye.